Most people hear 7% interest rates, and they quit before they even start. They look at the numbers, they feel the fear, and they walk away. But here's what those people don't know. There is a specific type of buyer, using a specific type of loan, on a specific type of property, who is actually winning right now. Not despite the high rates, because of how they're structured around them. Welcome to 12 House Hackers, where regular people use real estate to make their housing work for them instead of against them. Stay with this video to the end, because by the end, you'll know exactly why the interest rate you're scared of might actually be your biggest advantage in 2026. And the reason why is not what you think. Let's talk about where we actually are. In 2026, the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate is sitting somewhere between 6.5 and 7.5%, depending on the week and your credit profile. That's roughly double what buyers were getting in 2020 and 2021. And when most buyers run the numbers on a single-family home at those rates, the monthly payment feels crushing. So they rent, they wait, they hope rates drop. House hackers don't wait. They reframe the math entirely. Here's the core idea. A house hack is when you buy a property, you live in one unit, and you rent out the other unit or units to offset your mortgage. Done right, your tenant is paying a significant chunk, sometimes all, of your monthly payment. The interest rate matters less when someone else is covering it. That's not a trick, that's arithmetic. So, the first decision you need to make is the loan. And in 2026, for most first-time house hackers, the answer is an FHA loan. Here's why. An FHA loan lets you put down as little as 3.5% on a property up to a certain loan limit, which varies by county, but in many markets sits between $500,000 and over $1 million in high-cost areas. You're going to pay mortgage insurance, yes, but the trade-off is access. You're getting into a multi-unit property with a fraction of the capital that a conventional loan would demand. FHA loans allow you to purchase up to a 4-unit property as long as you live in one of the units as your primary residence. This is the detail that changes everything. A fourplex with an FHA loan means 3 other units generating rent while you occupy one. Even a duplex, 2 units, means you have a paying neighbor effectively splitting your mortgage with you. Now, which property do you choose? This is where house hackers make or break their deal, and most beginners get it wrong. The duplex is the most popular starting point, and for good reason. It's the easiest to manage, the easiest to finance, and in most markets, the easiest to find. But not every duplex is a good house hack. You're looking for a very specific set of characteristics. First, separate entrances. You and your tenant cannot share a front door. If they do, you have a management problem before you even start. Second, separate utilities. If the gas and electric are on one meter, you either have to pay your tenant's bills or create a bill-back system that causes constant friction. Neither is good. Third, you want comparable unit sizes. If your unit is 1,500 square feet and the rental unit is 400, you're living large but renting a closet. The rent you collect won't move the needle. The ideal duplex for a 2026 house hack has 2 units of roughly similar size, completely separate entrances, separately metered utilities, and it's in a neighborhood where rental demand is strong. That last part is non-negotiable. You can have the perfect property on paper, but if it's in a market where nobody wants to rent, your financial model collapses. Speaking of which, let's run the actual numbers, because this is where the skeptics either get converted or walk away. Say you're buying a duplex in a mid-tier market. Purchase price is $350,000. You put down 3.5%, which is $12,250. Your loan amount is roughly $337,000 at a 7% interest rate over 30 years. Your principal and interest payment is about $2,240 a month. Add FHA mortgage insurance at roughly $190 a month, property taxes at maybe $300, and insurance at $120. You're looking at a total monthly payment somewhere around $2,850. Now your tenant. A comparable rental unit in the same neighborhood rents for $1,400 to $1,600 a month. Let's be conservative and call it $1,400. $1,400 subtracted from $2,850 leaves $1,450 as your out-of-pocket housing cost. That's less than most people pay for a one-bedroom apartment. And you own the building. But here's the open loop that most beginner house hackers miss. What happens after year one? After 12 months of living in that property as your primary residence, you've met the FHA occupancy requirement. You can move out, convert your unit into a second rental, and now you have a property generating $2,800 a month in gross rents on a payment of $2,850. You're nearly at break-even from a cash flow perspective. You own an appreciating asset, and you're free to go do it again. Buy another property, another FHA loan, another house hack. That's the cycle. That's the machine. Now let's talk about a mistake that kills this strategy before it gets started. And it has nothing to do with interest rates. Unit separation. This is the physical and logistical work of making sure the two sides of your duplex actually function independently. Before you close on any property, walk through it with one question in your mind. Can a tenant live here without ever needing to interact with me? Shared laundry in a common basement? That's a problem. Shared backyard with no fence line? Problem. HVAC system serving both units from the same thermostat? Massive problem. Any of these things that you overlook in the buying phase become ongoing management headaches that drain your time, your money, and your sanity. The fix is to budget for unit separation costs before you make your offer. Get a contractor to walk through the property with you. Ask them what it would cost to add a separate washer-dryer hookup to each unit. Ask what fencing costs. Ask about separating the HVAC if needed. In many cases, these costs run between $2,000 and $8,000 total, manageable and absolutely worth it. Factor that into your purchase offer and your rehab budget. Now, one more thing about 2026 specifically. There's a psychological trap in this market that's worth naming directly. Because rates are high, sellers of multifamily properties are sitting on homes longer. Days on market have stretched. Inventory has crept up in many metros. That is a negotiating gift. In 2021, you were competing with 12 cash offers on every decent duplex. In 2026, you might be the only offer. Use that. Negotiate the price down. Ask for seller concessions to cover closing costs. Ask for a rate buy-down contribution. Sellers who have been sitting on a property for 60 or 90 days are often willing to deal in ways they never would have 2 years ago. The rate environment that scared everyone else away from the market has thinned the competition. That's the counterintuitive reality. And the buyers who understand this are the ones acquiring assets right now, while everyone else waits for a rate cut that may or may not come. Here's something else that's worth knowing. When rates do drop, and eventually they will, the buyers who already own properties get to refinance. They capture the upside. The people who waited are back in a bidding war, competing with everyone who sat on the sidelines with them. Timing the market is a losing game. Being in the market is a winning one. So here's your 2026 roadmap. Step 1. Get your credit to at least 580 for FHA eligibility, though 620 or above will get you better terms. Step 2. Save your 3.5% down plus closing costs. Plan for a total out-of-pocket of around 8 to 12% of purchase price when all is said and done. Step 3. Identify your market by rental demand first. Then find duplexes that meet the separation criteria. Step 4. Run your numbers conservatively. Stress test the rent against a 10% vacancy rate and only move forward if the math still works. Step 5. Close. Set up the unit properly, place a tenant, and start your 12-month clock. Now, back to the question from the beginning. Why is a 7% interest rate actually an advantage for a house hacker in 2026? It's not because the rate itself is good. It's because the rate cleared the field. Every nervous buyer dropped out. Every casual investor put their plans on hold. That left motivated sellers, less competition, and a market that rewards the people who know how to run the numbers correctly. The rate scared everyone else into waiting. It's your invitation to move. Now you know the full strategy. Drop a comment below. What market are you thinking about for your first house hack? We read all of them. And if this channel is new to you, subscribe. We're here every week breaking down exactly how real people use real estate to stop paying someone else's mortgage and start building their own.